Good morning, everyone. We're about to bring you the latest COVID-19 UAE updates. However, if you found this podcast through an article, which so many of you are doing, please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts so you can get your Dubai news daily. Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Daily. Happy Sunday. Today we're talking about fake COVID-19 charity cases. We're talking about the fatal bus crash. Dubai family victims of that are pushing forward with authorities. We're talking about Chris Fade, who's been granted the golden visa in Dubai, which is very exciting. And if you turned on the show just now, you'll have seen Simran holding up her breakfast. This is not a sponsored ad, by the way. This is just...
Clearly not.
No, Simran's... Well...
having mush. And Casey is having croissant with some coffee.
You make it sad, but there's a deal downstairs. 18 dirham for both. Simran's genius idea is that we now start bringing in breakfast on Sundays because Sundays are hard enough as they are. So we're just going to have a little bit of a...
Yeah.
As we start the show, what are you guys having for breakfast?
Let us know. So next time we're going to eat that for breakfast.
Yours is quite mushy, because it's what? Granola and...
Granola,
Love this.
milk, and yogurt.
I really love this. Breakfast on Lovin Daily.
And Ali is sitting there like, okay, I didn't get the memo.
Ali, the only thing he has on his nice new clean table is sanitizer, which I respect, and a big bottle of water.
Yes.
So now I feel mean.
Healthy.
I was going to talk about the level of sog in your granola.
Well, I like it.
Yeah,
it
it's
just feels
interesting.
nice.
I like the crunchiness of the granola. It just looks like a mush. It really does.
But you know, a lot of people, like, some people don't recommend that you shouldn't have breakfast, and some people say that you should have a big breakfast. You know, like, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a something, and dinner like a pauper.
I think that is because they say, eat less in the evening.
Yeah.
Breakfast should be the most important meal of the day. And for some reason, I just tend to skip out on breakfast. I know that. I've heard that piece of wisdom and advice so many times, and yet still, like a banana or a croissant and some yogurt, that would be like my biggest breakfast. Unless it's the weekend, then it's a whole other story.
I do
Weekends don't
intermittent
count.
fasting. Like I fast.
Intermittent fasting?
Yeah, at the beginning of the day, and then I
googled it 1 second. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a beggar. Just had to Google that.
And what did you Google to get there?
Breakfast like a king, lunch like a, and then it just came on. But Ali, yeah, a lot of people do intermittent fasting. Like they skip breakfast, like they have an early dinner and they skip breakfast and they just get right into lunch, a heavy lunch. So what do you guys do? What do you guys recommend for a good, healthy lifestyle and maybe some weight loss?
peanut butter and brown bread.
Peanut butter. And peanut butter and butter toasted.
Oh,
I love peanut butter on bread.
Oh my
With a tiny layer of butter before you put it into the grill, and then the peanut butter, and then the butter.
Oh my god!
We should have a grill in the office. Do your offices have proper kitchens?
Some don't even.
This is the thing. I think we have a fridge, we have a microwave, and we have a coffee machine.
This is why people hate us. I don't want to say that.
Well, I think a fridge. If you don't have a fridge, then how are you keeping your lunch?
A lot of the place where I worked before this, they just had a small coffee station.
Yeah.
Where you can make coffee or hot water or tea. They didn't have a fridge. They had a microwave but nothing else.
No, I think having those, like having a microwave and having a fridge is...
It's kind of essential. Not essential, like it helps the people.
Let's see, we're in Hawaii. Everything is so expensive. Well,
the food or like just life? Even just Dubai.
Are you living or are you on holidays? Nice. Who knows?
Hawaii.
We'll jump in to our first story, which is the fact that fake COVID charities are targeting people and you could face 500,000 dirham in fines. I think this is worth noting because Dubai police are basically calling out cyber criminals, and they're calling them out publicly because we could be on the receiving end of their scams or of their frauds. Fraudsters are tricky individuals. Basically, what Dubai police have said, they put up a video over the weekend. They're pretending they're collecting for charities to do with COVID-19. They're pretending they're collecting for charities, something that will tug at your heartstrings. You donate to them, and they're just absolute scammers. So what they're trying to call out is anyone who is not approved by licensing in the UAE could be liable for fines between 250,000 and 500,000 dirham fines. What's worth noting here is actually people do donate. People do open up online donations in the country. They try and get donations for different things. If they're not approved, they could also still be liable for fines.
Oh no.
So do check if you're thinking of donating to anything in the UAE. Do check that it's approved by the authorities here, or you could be in trouble, and then they could also be in trouble, because I think it's actually happening more regularly than you might think. People are being scammed and duped by these fraudsters. And they said, what the police said was, although the whole world demands solidarity to address current challenges, fraudsters are wasting no time to trick and deceive individuals. Just make sure the fundraising sites you're donating to are legal, because collecting donations without a permit is highly illegal.
Oh no, because I know during the explosion that happened in Lebanon and a lot of the floods and stuff that happened last year and the years before, individuals, they took their own initiative in collecting funds and collecting old clothes and a lot of stuff to send back to their countries. So that is illegal.
Yeah, so this is what's worth noting. So yes, there are fraudsters who are tricking us. On the other side of it, there might be people in the community, and this is quite common, to kind of just be inspired to start raising donations. Just be very careful if that's the case, because it is illegal. And you could be, because there was a story a couple of years ago, I think someone collecting for a trip, maybe, I can't remember the exact details, but I think he was climbing a mountain in another country, and he was raising donations here for a charity close to his heart. And he was arrested because it was violating the laws. So as we know in the country, everything is kind of by the book. Everything is regulated for a number of reasons, because there are scammers out there at the same time. So that's what they're trying to stamp out. So just be aware if you are donating online, that could be the case.
So maybe have like the place that you're sending it out to and everything written with evidence and stuff. Would that help? Like if there is, suppose, an incident that takes place in your home country and you do want to collect stuff to send back within your community, like clothes and food and all those materials, is there, like, if you have proof of where you're sending it back, do you think that's something that could help?
No, because what I think the thing is, you need to have your license by the authorities. So what I would do in that situation is I would get in touch with like the Al Jalila Foundation or foundations here that I already know are approved, and ask them what I can do. For example, they might start collecting for your cause. The Emirates Red Crescent Society here, they're incredible internationally. So if there's a cause internationally that you care about, I would get in touch with already registered charities, because if it's something that you're just going to do maybe for a short amount of time, if it's not like a full-time foundation that you're setting up, get in touch with someone here already that can help you out and see what they suggest, because I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah. But scammers just ruining it for everyone all the time.
Like, I got an email the last day after I made my Amazon order, and I know we spoke about this before, and it's just this email scam that I hate, but I made an order on Amazon, and then later on in the day I got an email from a scam place saying, your Amazon order is coming, just pay this $1.99 ship and collect, or whatever it was. And that's how Taz in our office, we've spoken about this before, that's how Taz got done, and it was like hundreds of dirham that she was like, oh, I just need to pay for the delivery fee, $1.99, and then she got scammed.
Oh no, so they got her card details and they kept taking money from the card? Was that what happened?
So she paid the $1.99, assuming it was just a delivery charge that she hadn't been aware of.
Okay.
And then they took hundreds of dirham. She's told us to Dubai police, they're investigating. But as soon as you hand over your money online, you hand over your credit card details, it's quite difficult to get it back. So it was a one-time, they just took out like a one-time amount, but it was a couple of hundred dirhams, so it's not. Yeah.
Man, being on the receiving end of it, it's just such a struggle. And I know there are so many companies as well that are like that are scamsters, like full of scamsters. Like the concept is of scamming people, and then legit companies similar to those, they suffer because people have a bad idea of the business and everything because they've had a bad experience. So real companies and real organizations suffer because of scamsters as well. You guys suck.
No, but it's not true, because as soon as if you get done once for putting your details in online, it's going to make you really nervous about doing it again and again. But that's how we need to, like, that's how I make most of my orders is online.
Oh god, yeah, e-commerce. I mean, everything has its drawbacks, but yeah.
Lovin Extra is here. This is the new membership, and while absolutely nothing changes for our readers, extra members get access to premium content, exclusive competitions, and first look for tickets and access to the coolest events across the city, and Lovin merch. If you subscribe right now, a very cool Lovin Red Eco Water bottle will be delivered to your door.
moving on. So families of the Dubai bus crash victims are pushing authorities to move the case forward. Now, a fatal incident took place on June 6th, 2019. And now 2 years after the horrific bus crash that killed 17 UAE residents, families of the victims still haven't received compensation. In a report released on Khalij Times, it was expressed that the families of the departed are now, quote, in dire need of legal counsel and are struggling to keep their head above the water due to mounting financial issues. The bus crash, while it was returning from Muscat after Eid break, and the driver drove into a lane that was not meant for buses and drove straight into a metal barrier. So he rammed into a metal barrier, and that led to the immediate death of 15 passengers and 2 who succumbed to their injuries afterwards. Now, in the accident that killed 17 residents. It included 12 Indians, 2 Pakistanis, an Omani, an Irish woman, and a Filipina who were tragically killed. The bus driver was sentenced to 1 year in prison and needed to pay a sum of 3.5 million dirhams as blood money and a fine of 50,000 dirhams to the government. Now, it is so tragic, and families have lost their sole breadwinners in the accident and are financially struggling to cope, and have voiced their feelings, and they're trying to seek legal counsel right now. They reached out to Khalij Times and a bunch of other government entities as well. And so they're saying the blood money can really help aid them financially. So they're trying to push to get that out. And Sapna, who is the sister of the victim Roshni, who passed away, is even requesting for the barrier to be replaced with one of another metal, so this kind of accident doesn't repeat in the future and doesn't cause anyone else to go through what she went through. So it's super tragic.
Yeah, I remember seeing that story in the news when it happened. I think we were all a bit shaken by it, because just the number of fatalities on the roads is scary. Anyway, driving into my roads is scary. And then just seeing that, it was kind of a just like in our face reminder of how tragic these accidents can be. So I really just feel for the family involved. And in terms of, obviously it's a legal situation, so whether or not they'll get it, but I really hope that they get kind of help and support in some way, because when you lose a family member, it's just...
Yeah, and especially when they're the sole breadwinner, and so like families, like, they've lost their husband, they've lost their father, their mother. So it's just, oh my God, like these situations happen all the time, but it's just so sad and scary just to think about it and know what they went through.
And as you're saying, one of the siblings of one of the victims is campaigning for a different type of barrier, because it sounds like she's just like, I just don't want to see this happen again.
Yeah.
So hopefully in that regard that something can be done as well, because obviously if we saw that the same thing happen again, it would just be...
And her story is so sweet. She also told Khalij Times when she was at the place where the accident took place, she lit up incense, and like just as a small tribute to her sister and all the other victims. It's very...
No, I think that's beautiful, and we're praying for hopefully that they get something kind of to repatriate them.
Yes, for sure. Something to compensate for their loss that cannot be compensated for, but like financially, I'm sure, like a little aid can be given, which they will get.
We'll move on. On a lighter note, we want to do a shout out to Chris Fade, who received the golden visa just in time for his birthday. This is so cool, super huge. Chris Fade, as you know, is the Virgin Radio presenter of the Chris Fade Show every morning on 104.4. And this came just in time for his birthday, which was yesterday. I don't think that they were matched up, but the fact that it came at the same time is kind of cute. So as you know, the golden visa is like highly coveted. They're giving it to entrepreneurs, investors, artists, talented individuals, students who've done really well. And at the moment, it's not something that you can apply for. It's given. People who've basically given back to the UAE, and we're hearing every now and then of, let's say, a massive entrepreneur, businessman, and a name like which sometimes we don't really recognize the names. I'm like, oh, this is a man from a CEO or something. But Chris Fade got it over the weekend, and I think it's one of the first times it's like, maybe this is a name that you would have guessed. Do you know what I mean? It's like, who is going to get the golden visas? And I don't know, let's say, the massive corporations here, but I do know Chris Fade, and I do listen to his show. And in terms of like someone who is so positive and supportive of the community here and of the city here, it was kind of one of those ones that like, if you listen to a show and listen to how much he gives back to the community and how much he cares about the community, this was expected. I'm sure he wasn't expecting it, but I think
Yeah.
everyone else is like,
For sure.
and the sentiment on all the posts is like, yes, well done. You know how much he actually gives back and he cares about the community. So congrats, Chris. If you're watching.
Chris. Okay, I thought we were all chiming in. Never mind.
You want to do it again?
Yeah. Chris Fade. That was such a fail. Oh my god. But yes,
Chris Fade, well done.
I was a fail, not Chris Fade.
But Chris, also, we have a competition up on our Twitter because it's not just Virgin Radio that he does. He also has Fade Fit Tennis Academy, and we have Fade Fit Snacks on a competition on our Twitter right now, which we're closing today. So if you want to win those, you can go onto our Twitter right now.
Do we have the Fade Fit snacks in our office right now?
This is the tricky thing. So Chris actually sent them over for us.
Yeah.
And, you know, like there was like, let's say 4 bags. So then we were like, okay, well, 1 bag went around and the rest, he said he's going to continue sending because he didn't want it for a competition, by the way. But we just do a lot of competitions. So this is the way they went. So Ali got a bag, some of us got a bag, and then the rest were put in the competition. But now they're just sitting there waiting to be given back. And it's like, oh, I want one.
But-
Really delicious, by the way.
But it's so popular. His snacks are so popular. So making it a competition is like, you know what? We are giving back to the community.
We are so good. We are just giving. And
Honestly, we just give and we give and we give.
And what do we get for breakfast? Mush.
You didn't even take a bite of yours.
I did.
Oh, was it during the show?
I actually,
Right in the beginning.
Oh, okay, because after that I just didn't see her touching it. I'm like, oh.
you know, I started it and then I was like, it's actually quite a hard thing because there's already, I came into the studio this morning and it's absolutely spotless and I've already got croissants and stuff everywhere. So it's not ideal for the show, but
So I think we need to stick to food that is, you know, less of a mess maker, like my bowl of mush.
whatever you want to eat for breakfast.
One of mush? What's inside it?
Granola, yogurt, and milk.
Can I just say, by the way, someone on Facebook, Christian said skipping breakfast is great. Patel said, I love peanut butter with bread.
Guys, give us more breakfast options. We're gonna keep getting it every Sunday. Yeah, because we are always hungry and big foodies.
So
And
we
just
have
always
makeup
thinking of-
Thursdays and breakfast Sundays.
No makeup Thursdays and breakfast Sundays. Well,
And throwback Tuesdays.
What's next?
Throwback
Half to
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays?
but the thing about breakfast Sundays is you're saying that we should like, it's like you just do what's easiest for you and what
Yeah.
you enjoy. So like this and a banana, a coffee, like a flat white with almond milk. I know how like bougie I sound. And a croissant and a banana, like that's like my delicious breakfast. So I'll probably
Wow,
just...
okay, see, I'm glad you didn't say pancakes. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's also downstairs in Bistro. I can just pick it up on the way in, so it's really easy.
Oh yeah, and you come in so when is Bistro open downstairs? Because you come in the office so early, like you're here at 7:20
I don't think I am.
or
7:30.
7. Oh,
But they are opening as I go past. Like I wouldn't come up and go down because we're on the 42nd floor. That would just
oh,
be
so
a
they
time
deliver?
waster.
No, they don't deliver.
No, but I go in and they've opened the doors and everything.
Oh.
They're ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're open from 7:30.
And the croissants smell as you, like every other single morning. I'm just like, smells so good.
They made it
It smells nice. It smells
That,
nice.
yum.
It's just that's it. Whenever you walk past anywhere with that smell, it's just like I need to
Yeah.
get one. Where was it last day?
French bakery, Paul's. Shout outs to all the
Even
bakeries.
Marks and Spencers. I know it's just a store, but I'm just like, oh my god, it smells so good there.
Really?
Mm.
Marks and Spencer.
Yeah.
I love their chocolate. They have this chocolate that they have. It's with milk inside it.
As in a chocolate that you get in the deli there, or just one that they sell?
I think the one that they sell.
They have good food. They have some good. The ones in the UK, oh my god. People literally only buy food from Marks and Spencer in the UK because it's so good. And they have such a massive collection.
I think you have a big bank balance if you're buying it only from Marks and Spencer's, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But the almond croissants, I got one there at the weekend. It was delish. Anyway, on that note, guys, there's our Sunday morning show. We're back with you every single weekday morning. Bye-bye from me.
Peace.
Guys, that is a wrap for the Lovin Daily. We are back same time, same place every weekday morning. And of course, don't miss the Lovin Show every Tuesday where I chat with Dubai personalities. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have a great day.